Let's bring in Marshall Front, chairman of Front Barnett Associates. The firm owns more than 700,000 shares of the stock. He joins us now from our Chicago newsroom. Marshall, welcome to Bloomberg News. Always good to see you.
Great to be here.
Marshall, I'll pose the question to you that I just asked our Johnson and Dominic Chu. How big a deal is this?
Well, I think from Citicorp's standpoint, it just clears one of the additional hurdles that have been out there all along, and that is we now have a plan, or seemingly have a plan, for the government's exit of this thing. You know, it's really ironic. The government never really wanted to invest in Citicorp, but they felt they had to, and they vilified the company all along the way, forced restructurings in their board and so forth. And now they're going to make $8 billion or more on the transaction. Quite a trick.
Marshall, Ken Rendino of BlackRock told us today that it's better for the Treasury to sell Citi as the stock improves rather than all at once. He calls that a disciplined approach. Is that a fair assessment?
Oh, absolutely. It would be far superior to do it this way, and we'll know more in the next 48 hours when the details of the transaction, or at least the plan, are revealed. Far better than a Dutch auction or some other scheme where they dump a large block of stock up front into the market. But I suspect that in the second or third quarter of this year, there'll be a cleanup transaction which could well exceed 1 billion shares.
Talk to us about the political implications of this, namely TARP. This sale would finish the recovery of $45 billion that was given to Citigroup from the TARP program.
Right. TARP's going to turn out to be a moneymaker for the government. Things have just changed so dramatically from where we were a year and a half ago. Remember, Citicorp had to put $200 billion of assets into Citi Holdings. These were investments that had gone sour. By the end of this year, Citicorp will have about $100 billion in Citi Holdings. So you're talking about lots of things that have taken place over this past year or so along the way towards Citicorp's getting out of the clutches of the government and toward its recovery.
Marshall, Adam, if I can jump in here, please. If you look at the analyst estimates, on average, analysts expect Citi to earn about 4 cents this year. Is there any upside, any possible upside to that number, do you think?
Possibly. We're looking really at earnings over the next couple of years and what the normalized earnings are likely to be. And we could see these being somewhere in the 80 cents a share range. Put a multiple on that of 10 or 12 times earnings, you're looking at $8 to $10 or more a share, with the stock selling just above 4.
Now, Marshall, it's Dominic Chu here. Just a quick question for you. Is there any argument to be made that Citi is a play on the emerging markets, or is it more of a story about the U.S. rebound banking in general?
No, that's one of the drivers here. It's going to really be a global healing story for Citigroup, on top of some of the other domestic drivers. But this is a global enterprise, and they're going to be driven by the emerging markets. They're going to be driven by improvements in Europe as well. So this is a big plus. One other point I noticed this morning, it was actually surprising. Over a third of the total volume on the New York Stock Exchange today was accounted for by bank stock trading and General Electric.
Right.
There's an enormous amount of interest in this area.
Yeah.
I think on balance it's hated by many portfolio managers. Some of them will be buying this stock kicking and screaming in the next several quarters.
Right. Marshall, was wondering, any concerns that this plan doesn't include trust preferred securities or warrants?
No, I think we need to clear this first, and we'll see what happens with that later on. But this is the key. This is the driver that takes Citi out of the clutches of the Treasury, out of the clutches of government, and it's crucial for them.
So are we seeing now that maybe the big money centers can stand on their own without government help?
It's been pretty clear for quite a while that this situation was evolving just as you've described it. Yep.
Vindication for Tim Geithner and his handling of the TARP?
I think Paulson, Geithner, and surprisingly, in this case, a slight but I think perceptible, palatable change in investors' attitudes towards Vikram Pandit. I think his star is beginning to glisten a little bit.
All right, Marshall Front, chairman of Front Barnett Associates, and also our markets desk team, Adam Johnson, Dominic Chu. Gentlemen, thanks to all of you so much.